Hello everyone! Welcome to 76 Doll Shop, your silicone doll specialty store. I am your love doll expert, XiaoBan. As a love doll expert, help you bring your doll home with confidence. In today's episode, many first-time doll buyers often ask, why is there such a big price difference between silicone and TPE? What exactly are the differences? Today, I will help you understand. I've brought out two Loli-style dolls today. Both are 138 centimeters tall. They both have a small chest design. On my right side, the one in the yellow outfit is our MomoDoll, 138 centimeters tall. Her price is only 26,000 NT. And this one is our Myloliwaifu model with a 138A chest size. This body type is priced at 62,000 NTD. Everyone is curious, why is there such a big price difference? Besides brand differences, TPE dolls typically cost around 30,000 NTD. You can get a full body doll, a life-size proportion doll. Silicone dolls cost at least 60,000 NTD. So where does the price difference come from? Today, through this video, we will uncover the secrets. Besides differences in material, what other differences are there? Let's find out. Let's go! Alright, first, we'll start with the overall texture. From these two different materials, let's do a comparison. You can see here, the doll on our right side, basically, the overall texture of TPE. It is relatively soft. This has always been an advantage of TPE. And you can see, although its texture is soft, it feels somewhat like jelly. You can see the whole body. It is entirely a very soft material. Basically, the whole body is, because it is made of the same material. So it is soft all over. And you can see that its elasticity is quite good. Its overall durability and elasticity. You can also see how durable and elastic it is. This is the characteristic of TPE material. As for silicone, it used to be relatively hard. You can see, the material here is a bit harder. In certain key areas, such as the chest and hips, they have been made softer. And after softening, I'll explain briefly. The overall texture improves. With continuous improvements in silicone material, we have noticed that its overall texture has gotten better. It used to be very hard, but now certain areas have been softened. Some manufacturers have even made the entire body softer, including the private part. This kind of softening has caught up with the overall feel of TPE. As for TPE, I think it might feel bouncier in use. Now, moving on to the second part. It is in the characteristics of its material. In the past, TPE was more prone to oil flowing in earlier versions. It tended to have a greasy and sticky feeling. Silicone material is less likely to oil flowing. However, for the softer versions, they still flow in oil because softening. Ingredients that contain fine oil. These fine oils will also break down over time, which leads to oil flowing. But TPE is more prone to flow oil. So, in terms of maintenance, it can be more troublesome. It might feel a bit greasy and sticky, but nowadays, there is a new material called S-TPE. S-TPE is slightly more expensive. Overall, it also addresses the early issue of oil flowing. Another disadvantage of TPE is that it is more prone to damage. It tends to crack more easily. In the past, just leaving it alone for 1 or 2 years would cause it to crack. Even without using it, it would still crack. But now, such issues with TPE are rarely heard of. This is due to significant improvements in TPE, as the material has been continuously upgraded. In fact, the cost difference is not only due to the difference in raw materials between silicone and TPE. The post-processing and coating also contribute to the price gap. For example, in TPE, it is inherently a thermoplastic material. It includes, for example, if you take it out from this mold, after demolding, TPE can be repaired with heat stamping. When it comes out, if you find any cracks or any damaged areas, it can generally be repaired this way, using high temperatures for repair. But the principle of silicone is different. Silicone is cold formed. If it has damage after molding, or if the sides have very visible mold lines, it can only be trimmed. For minor damages, only small repairs can be made. If there is large-scale damage, it's basically beyond repair, because any patch will be very obvious. This also explains why, overall, there is a significant difference in quality from the beginning. You can see that if TPE is damaged, the material can still be reused, because once it's heated and melted, it can be reshaped. Even if the issue is not severe, especially minor issues, it can still be manually repaired later. But silicone cannot be repaired in this way. This is the biggest difference between the two materials. Next, let's look at the price difference. One of the main reasons is the overall painting process. The difference in color we can see that the entire painting of silicone has very detailed features. We can observe from many angles, including the overall painting structure, and the makeup effect on it, and then the feeling of her texture. The makeup can be sprayed with great detail, including the detailed texture of her skin. The details are more noticeable, as you can see. Even the angle of her skin texture. You can see the skin texture on her fingers. Now, let's compare it with the TPE. Let's bring the two closer. It's the same hand. You can see it's the same hand. You can see the difference between the two hands. The makeup on top, the whole detail. The level of detail presentation is very different. Can everyone see it? The overall presentation of it. The detail presentation is quite different. And on this one, the whole palm. The details are more noticeable. This is the detail of the palm texture. Now let's take a look at. Also TPE, you can see her skin. It's closer to the real human skin. The color and texture of the skin. Now this one, it's TPE material. The details can't be presented as clearly. A lot of people ask XiaoBan, what's the difference between TPE and silicone? In terms of operation? Actually, in terms of operation, the skeleton inside doesn't have much difference. The range of motion for the operation is basically similar. For example, looking at these two, both of these support the finger bone part. The finger bones part, actually, she can create. Such a vivid feeling of having finger bones. You can see if there are finger bones, there are. TPE used to have fewer finger bone designs in the past. Now, it's basically an optional feature for finger bones. Look, she can also create with her pinky raised effect. With her pinky raised effect. So there's not much difference in operation. The biggest difference is what I just mentioned. The overall texture detail, and also the feel when using it. The texture and elasticity when touched. It's a little different. I would say that currently, the durability of TPE is better. Next, let's take a look at the legs. For the legs, you can see, it's also more of this type. A more dead white color, and the texture of the soles, although you can see the ankle bone. The details of it can't be made very clear. Now let's take a look at, if it's this silicone version, you can see the overall texture detail. It's done very well. Basically, from the side of the entire foot, you can see the texture on it. Even the feel of the sole has detailed textures. This is the characteristic of the silicone material, the biggest feature. Now let's take a look at a detailed part of the sole. Now, this TPE foot, basically, if standing, it always has nails for standing. The reason is that it's too soft. The TPE material cannot be hardened. The silicone solves this problem by hardening the material here. This is called the hardened foot. It can support nails and also have a hardened foot. The trend now is the type without nails. Let's take a closer look at the overall details. Basically, the foot's details. We can see here, basically, the texture is not as clear or prominent. You can see the overall texture of the silicone. The foot's details are well made. The overall quality is quite good. You can see the bottom and sole of the foot. As for the palm, let's take a look at the palm. This is the palm. This is the silicone part. These are silicone fingers. These are TPE palms. You can see the difference in the TPE feel. This is TPE and this is silicone. Let me show you the comparison of the palms. The texture of the silicone body can be seen here. The texture of the silicone body. This one is the TPE body feel. Refer to this. TPE body feel. Her waist. Navel. The navel area. The belly button area. And her ribs. Alright, that's it for this part. It's the whole private part. You can see it here. The whole silicone part. The whole thing is made. The craftsmanship is very finely done. Since this is the loli style, it's made in a way. The texture of the opening is more like breadcrumbs. It also has the double hole design in the lower body. And the overall texture structure is very beautiful and delicious. It looks really good. It also has a hole in the butt area. And inside, there's a texture with a granular texture and feel. Next, let's take a look at. This is the TPE one. It's a whole opening look. It also has a bit of a breadcrumb texture. However, the overall delicacy of the lower body is not as refined as the silicone one. It also has the double hole design, and at the butthole area, there are still some textures. As for the top, it also has the opening shape overall, but the overall details and craftsmanship are not as intricate as the silicone one. Alright, so this is our discussion today on silicone versus TPE tutorial. I'm sure it has cleared up many questions for viewers. Why silicone and TPE are at least twice as expensive as each other? From these fine details, you can see the differences in the silicone and TPE materials. There's also the durability, longevity, and texture. From all these different angles, we've done a further analysis. I hope everyone can use this analysis to choose the one that suits them best. If you're still unsure how to choose, then XiaoBan would recommend beginners. If you're really on a tight budget and don't know whether you'll like these large-sized dolls, then I suggest starting with TPE options. The best TPE option is to get a TPE body with a silicone head, because silicone heads are more refined and beautiful with this configuration. The total price would range between 30,000 to 40,000, and you can get a pretty good doll. Now regarding TPE quality, it has actually been continuously improved. For example, S-TPE has moved beyond its past issues, like being prone to cracking. And the oil leakage problem, these have been significantly reduced. In our previous S-TPE related videos, you can see actual tests verifying its oil leakage. The results were very good. If your budget allows, misspoke, and you want a doll suitable for photography, practical use, with highly realistic details, then silicone is definitely worth the investment. Plus, its overall durability can last at least several years without any major issues. So that concludes our introduction to TPE and silicone materials. Hope this episode has been helpful. I'm your love doll expert XiaoBan, helping you buy dolls with confidence. See you in the next tutorial video. Bye everyone. Hello, I'm Bennett, your trusted expert in silicone dolls. I've been in the silicone doll industry for nearly 8 years, and during this time, I've helped countless customers find the right products with confidence. We offer worldwide shipping, including to North America, Europe, Australia, South America, and more. We only recommend high-quality, cost-effective dolls to ensure you get the best value and avoid scams. Every doll we sell is personally inspected. We visit each factory to verify their quality and craftsmanship, ensuring you receive solid after-sales support. On the right, you'll find our contact information. Our professional consultants are here to assist you with any questions before you order. Join our thriving Discord community of thousands. You'll get access to uncensored previews, expert knowledge, and the latest updates in the doll world.
76 Doll Shop, your perfect partner awaits.